Well, it's been a while since I put something up on YouTube. I've been kind of preoccupied, you might say. Let's give you a little rundown about uh, if anybody gives a shit. Okay. Um, Starting last year, I was charged with hate crimes. Okay, because a man wants to be called a woman, and I said a few other things off the cuff. Somebody with Tourette syndrome can get away with anything. I have a traumatic brain injury. Okay. I'm not going to explain it all again, but I blurt out things once in a while or whatever. Okay, I shouldn't have to go away in handcuffs, but I did. And at the same time, I had this narcissist maniac who all I wanted to do was borrow his printer for a little while to get a jump on some work. I ended up being hobbled to this guy, and again I couldn't get rid of him. And then he steals my car that I just had for doing some work this fall. Okay, so then back in October, there was a young man who was really in a bad way, and I knew him for a long time, and we had nowhere to go. And he had left the hospital. His landlord, where he lived at this boarding, he wouldn't call it a boarding house, it's a dive. He had thrown him out, his stuff. He had nowhere to go, so I took him in. I didn't have much here. I only have a chair in the living room, and I have a routine. And but anyway, I took him in, and I tried to help him best I could. And for the life of me, I'm trying to figure out where I went wrong because I spent a couple of $1,000 over the last 4 months uh, feeding and providing care, and this guy had major infections, and I was driving him everywhere, take him down to his appointments every day. I break my routine that I had a thing going, and I come back to make sure he got down to have his drink of whatever poison they give you. Okay, so I was doing that, and at the same time now, get this, I'm doing this because I like it, okay? I have a friend, he's retired, he's 85 years old, and I've been good friends with him, and he's been my mentor and my priest because I'm a traditional Catholic, and he is the traditional Catholic priest. He's 85, and think what you want. There are real priests, not all priests are pedophiles. Okay. Anyway, he's a good friend of mine, and he had cancer, and he followed my advice early on. Thank God. When COVID started, when anybody asked him about his vaccine status, he would say, as I said, I'm fully immunized. You can read through that what you want. I have an immune system. Never got a sniffle. Neither did he. And he went through cancer and survived it and was out of the nursing home about 6 weeks before he should have been back home and driving his vehicle back then of a year ago or half a year. Okay, so whose method was working here? Anyway, I know a lot of people dying from cancer. You know what they're dying from? Chemotherapy. Oncologists get 65% of their money from chemo. That's where they go all the time. So that's heads up on that one. Anyway, my friend, I every day the past 4 months, I would go over to his apartment and prepare his breakfast because he needs to eat a gluten-free diet. And I had to take, actually, he gave me permission to be his assistant. And I will go get his groceries. I take him to his appointments. I prepare his breakfast and his supper and provide him with everything he needs to get through the day. He does have some home care to come. They're really, really busy, okay? And when you can help, you should, because these guys are overworked and they're underpaid, and you wouldn't believe what they got to put up with. Okay, there's a lot of whiners out there, people that think they deserve and demand the attention of the government to get them through everything. Okay, and so my belief is that if you can help someone, just help them. Don't be looking for a pat in the back or a reward. My God, I'm 69 years old. I got major ailments going on, but I don't even focus on them. Why? Because I'm alive. I'm here right now. And everything I did during the so-called pandemic was vitamin D3, K, magnesium, zinc, quercetin, nattokinase, because you guys are spreading spike proteins and nattokinase kills it. Then we have NAC. Then we have my diet, which I changed completely. It got rid of the sugar. I hate sugar. Okay, like once in a while it creeps in. You can't help it. It's everywhere. I use dark brown, and that just caused a war, for God's sake. Anyway, the sugar war, I call it now. Anyway, so I guess what I'm getting around to talking about actually is that I was at the grocery store, and the prices are gone through the roof. And there was an older guy there, and we started to talk about the current government, and without naming any names, pretty boy with the hair was on Cape Breton Island yesterday, looking at the Gulag. Okay, now you can take a pig, and you can put lipstick on it and dress it up. It's still a pig, and they're opening a Gulag at a concentration camp. Okay, with pallet houses, with little windows that you can't get out of, but you can pass food in. Have a look at the pictures. And security cameras, there are fences around. Now that's what they do when people they don't like, they want to get rid of. They did it in Russia. Everybody thinks about Germany, but Russia, the communists are the prime movers of this. Gulag Archipelago. Okay? Solzhenitsyn. The great Russian authors that wrote about this stuff, Dostoevsky, in his writings. You don't know anything about history unless you studied what happened back in 1917 with the Russian Revolution that started communism around the world, and Our Lady warned us about it in Fatima, that it was going to happen in 1917 if you don't do something and consecrate Russia to her Immaculate Heart. Then there would be communism with errors throughout the world, and look what's happening. Everybody on Cape Breton Island basically is on a check. If they don't work for the school board or the hospital or the government, federal or provincial, the liquor stores. I was just looking, there was 8 guys working at the cannabis shop at the liquor store. Okay? So then all these people working at the lottery corporation, we got all these government employees. That's communism. Okay? Everybody's on a check. That can't go on. You just can't keep handing out without people putting back in. We got people with gender studies degrees that are running government. They never worked a day in their life. They have no idea what it's like to shovel snow or go in a coal mine or build a building or work the sewer. Our street departments are overwhelmed because of a bunch of libtards that are looking. They never worked in their life, but they're great planners, right? They're going to handle all of it. Here's the bright one for you. There's a lot of supportive housing apartments in New Dawn called Shimmy that I helped to build. Well, anyway, I've been cast aside from that because they don't like people who believe in God at New Dawn. And so they've been trying to kill me and knock me out of my house here for 18 years. I'm still here. I got them in court. They're going to, anyway, it's another story. But to get back to what I said, that everybody's on a check, and New Dawn stopped the snow removal from our apartments. We got seniors, people with hearing and vision problems, mental health issues, a lot of people, and they took away the snow removal. just from the shimmy apartments. There's letters sent around. It was targeting them, supportive housing. And now they're going to build this security thing down in the pier. That's one step. The other step is the security building they're building right in the middle of the city. Now, think about this. It's a secure building. So that means that it will be a lockdown facility. Okay? What happens is they say they're going to move people in there that are local, but what's going to happen is the federal government they're going to sign a deal. And what we're going to get the hardened criminals that are being released early. We're talking the Paul Bernardo types that on the radar. They're going to be in Sydney, living in that apartment building in the North End, run by New Dawn. And the federal government, you've got to sign an agreement, okay, to agree with all the federal policies to get any money from them. I was doing a fundraiser in front of Loaves and Fishes, and I was willing to give them, I just gave $500 to my local parish over here. I'm waiting just to get it over because of the snow. You can't get the airport. Anyway, the thing is, Loaves and Fishes had me banned from there because I was selling fiddles, my little fiddles, okay, to the tourists. And I was doing it in front of Loaves and Fishes. They were going to get $5 from every one of those I sold. And we were working, they were doing good. And then the certain group of people you're not allowed to talk about told the Loaves and Fishes board that if I was not allowed, if I was still there selling them in front of the building, that they'd pull their funding. So why would they pull the funding from Loaves and Fishes? Because I'm out selling fiddles. Because a certain group of people that can't be talked about went and said that they would boycott all these businesses. That's communism. Okay, you got one little minority group. Now they got me charged and in court. Plus I was banned from selling them at Shoppers Drug Mart, Emerald Isle, the Historical Society, Farm Safe. Okay, and they all had agreed previously to allow me to sell to the tourists. And then when the certain group of people went around, and then they put the biggest guy they had under their control to torment me. Okay? He will remain anonymous at the moment, but you know who he is because he's 6'8". Okay? And he's been taken down to the size of 3'2". Okay? But it came with a price for me because I had to hustle on my own because everything I was setting up had to be readjusted to sell the fiddles I had in order to get ahead to the next level. Okay, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't like the government one little bit when it comes to being business. If you're in business and you can't survive without government funding, you shouldn't be in business. Okay? So let that sink in. And you're supporting these businesses downtown that are all geared up to grants that are coming. You go have a coffee at that place near the Allied Center. And the Allied Center, all money that's given from the government. The hat over there, that's also funded. Okay? It doesn't make sense to me, but all that little corner area there in that coffee shop, they're all so far in the hole that they can't get out without government money. And now New Dawn gets another kick with the pallet thing. Okay, they got more federal money. They get to put that in the bank. Get this now. They kick the pallet thing down the curb while they hold the money. And then they redistribute it with their little brainies in there. Okay? Your Bankman-Fried types that are, shuffling things around. All to save a couple of dying interests that are down there. Like they spent so much money on the content to redo it, and it doesn't produce anything. Okay, they're so far in the hole, they're going to need a ladder, more than a ladder. So I've been waiting to do a little rant for a while, and I'd like to keep on going, but I'm tired, okay? And I got to have some rest. I've just been taking care of someone every day at my home, at the same time going and taking care of someone at their apartment and going out to New Waterford to help another friend of mine every day. for the last 4 months just to get out of here from Sydney, away from this area right now. It is so wonderful just to be able to go somewhere else because I'm still banned from all transit, but I managed to get a vehicle. So look, I don't care what you think of me. I don't know who you are. And to all the people out there in the so-called community that can't be talked about, I don't hate any of you. Never did. Okay. What I hate is people going after children. That's what I hate. Okay, because they came after me when I was a kid, and I escaped, but a lot didn't. And I didn't forget. I don't forget. And it's the same kind of people pretending right off the cuff like they're not interested in kids, right? So why are you? No, I'm not going to get into this because of the whole nature of this video and where it's going to go. So let's just leave it with this. I believe in prayer. I believe in the power of prayer. And I believe that I only own what I can carry. Okay? And I believe that if you're wrong, instead of pointing the finger, you should promptly admit it. That's step 10 in AA 12 steps. Sober 42 years. They don't want anybody to get sober down there. They want everybody on the check, high as a kite, full of methadone, and scratching the pavement and begging for more. And then they want all the families to suffer so that they can look at what's going on and blame the government. Not blame the government, but blame the people that are sick. Instead of blaming the people that actually caused it, which is the government. I love my country. I can't handle this government. I despise the government. We're being played. Okay? Parliament is just a shit show. Okay? The real power is in the Privy Council, above Parliament, and we got nothing to do with it because that's run by all the mainstream big time operators. From the king and all that crap. So, if you do have a chance to watch this, just give a little thought to one word called gratitude. Okay? And a lot of you don't even know me. I just described to you what I've been doing every day now for 4 months. That's just to stay alive. And I got medical issues. Okay? So, we'll give you a part 2 on this if you can handle it.